Винаги си бърборим на български и то почва.
Хората
Беше
си
такива
го намират за смешно.
да. Че някой така разбира, че сме... hello. Hello, my
Винаги си
astrology
говорим на
friend.
български.
This is Lada
Double
from
salt.
AstroladaOfficial. And today my guest is Sidereal Astrology Krasi here with the predictions for the month of April for each of the 12 signs. Krasi covers both sidereal and tropical. When she mentions the sidereal, she does the prediction for sidereal, and then she mentions, but this is tropical. Tropical is the Western sign that everyone knows. But she uses the ancient Babylonian sidereal zodiac, the actual constellations. And Krasi, you told me huge change according to sidereal astrology. What is happening?
Yes, indeed, a big change. Saturn is entering Sidereal Pisces on 6th of April to stay there until 3 years. 3 years he'll be in Pisces. This is big because you remember, I'll bring you back 6 years ago when he first entered Sidereal Capricorn. Since then, the world is not the same. Of course, Saturn in Capricorn is another story because he's ruling Capricorn, and there he's really very strong and really fulfilling the karma for Capricorn, for rulership, for the rulers of the world, for changing the structures of the world. So it was very big, and we are not the same since his entrance into Capricorn. And now this is totally different page Saturn is opening, because in Pisces he's not ruling, he's also not fallen, he's not detriment, he's what we're calling peregrine. He doesn't have specific dignities, he's not that powerful, but it doesn't mean that he will not be influencing the collective. I say collective because the Pisces as 12th house of the zodiac, as the ruler of the contemporary times, current era we live in, still in the last degrees, last days, years, no, last times of in Pisces. So it is about the mini era that we are in. So it is about the collective. This will have impact on every single soul on Earth because of the energy of Pisces. Also, Saturn
is like collective karma.
Yes, collective karma. Yes.
That Saturn is the karma planet. Pisces is the last sign. It's paying
Exactly.
now. Pay the piper, or what's that called?
Yes, it is the collective karma, and also Pisces energy. You see, is very. Who is more powerful? Saturn is entering Pisces. Who influence who? Pisces, Saturn, or Saturn in Pisces? This is interesting because Saturn, the higher you go, the higher the hierarchy, the higher the power, right? The higher you go when we apply the celestial spheres placements and knowledge, you have Saturn as last, and then you have the celestial sphere, so they are higher. So the sign Pisces, the two fishes, the stars which form the fishes actually will be a little bit more powerful than
They're
Saturn.
above the celestial. The constellations are above the planets.
The planets, yes, because
yeah.
yeah,
I know that the constellations are ruled by the seraphims, the biggest one seraphim for each constellation, which is 12 seraphims, while the Saturn is smaller hierarchies like Archai, and rather than that. So
but also,
sorry.
But also very, very, very divine, very powerful, very, very powerful. So I think that the energy of Pisces will dominate a little bit, also because Neptune is there in sidereal Pisces. Neptune is there. And interestingly, when Saturn will enter Pisces, he will immediately meet Rahu and Venus. exalted Venus, Rahu, and Saturn will be together. And the beauty of this is like Venus is there to help, because the beginning of every cycle forms the whole cycle. And the beginning, the moment of his entrance, in the moment of his entrance, Venus will be there. Like she's there really to say, I will soften this cycle. I will help you. You know, the beautiful, sweet energy of Venus will be there. But when Saturn means Rahu, and when you see historically what happens, this would always have very sharp impact on the current events. Say, for example, there is a war, the war will end. Or there is no war, the war will start. But there is always war on Earth. So this is another story. But this will change the course of the war. And I'm speaking
like
about...
a new set of karma starts.
Yes.
Saturn is karma, Rahu is something new. The North Node.
Exactly. And I like that Venus is there to soften the passage, the how this will happen, how this will manifest. Also, later on in July, 12, 13 July, it will be Saturn meets Neptune in the 7 degrees. This is big. This is big. With this conjunction, historically, revolutions happened. Russian Revolution, Egyptian English Revolution, fall of Berlin Wall. When I started looking what happened, I couldn't follow anymore. So many events took place with Saturn, with Neptune, not necessarily in Pisces though.
Yeah, I remember when the Russian Revolution happened, though, the First World War finished at the same time, but also the last time Saturn and Neptune, not last time, at the beginning of last century, but also the Spanish influenza came with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. So some huge events that affect us collectively.
Collectively, for everyone, collectively. So that's why this is very important. Yes, Saturn this time will not be building new structures, new governments. Like now we see absolute shift in the world governments everywhere, since 2020. This time it will not be the same, but he will be influencing the lofty, the if you want also the I mean about the energy of Pisces, the empathic energy, the healing energy of Pisces. He will be creating more limits, more structures. This will be for good in a way. And Saturn, like every planet, he can actually give and help a lot. He's the one who allows, he opened the gates and allowed the big flood in Babylonian times.
Okay, so he's gonna allow the big flood?
No, but he depends on his vibration in people's horoscope. You either harmonize with his vibrations of discipline, high morals, structure, keeping your word, really being very disciplined person, or you can combine with, like, harmonize with his low vibrations, which are fierce.
Paying off karma.
Yes, it can be very hard and not. And I have a short parable story, which Master Bin Sedunu said in one of his lectures, something amazing. It's short. It is exactly about these two manifestations of Saturn. I will say it briefly. I'll try to make it a bit shorter. So there were two neighbors. One was a saint. Both were very poor. The other one was a stone man. He would be cutting stones. So they were good neighbors, and the stone man would always help the saint. And one day the saint said, he helped me so much. He's such a good man, but very poor. I will pray to God to give him wealth. So he started praying, an angel came and he said, no, stop praying, because he's not ready. You will destroy him. If we give him wealth, this will destroy his soul. And here Bin Sedun was explaining in the beginning that the poor guy, the stone guy, had Saturn in the second house, which was limiting his finances. So he was very poor. But the saint said, no, I'm sure he will be well. Let's help him, please. So he said, okay, up to you. We help him. Tell him that there on this specific place, he can dig, and under the ground, he will find treasure. So this is what happened. He found the treasure. The stone man became very wealthy. He built a house. He became very, very wealthy. But later, when the saint would come to visit him, he didn't recognize him anymore. He didn't recognize him. The saint became very upset. And the angel came and he said, you see what you did? This wealth destroyed his soul. And then he prayed again to God. He said, God, put things right for him. They said, okay, and they took away his treasure. And the stone man came to the saint and said, I apologize. I was just ashamed, people, to see me with you because you're poor. But I thank you. This is the right thing for me, because he was not ready for the Saturn gifts. You see what I mean? This is parable which Master Bein Sadhguru was saying.
So it's actually the Saturn can give you the biggest gifts when you're ready.
Or not.
Or first is a big blockage till you're ready. Because I know a lot of wealthy people with Saturn in the second house, but usually they start from difficult background and they later in life, by being moral, working hard, they can.
And the morals, you cannot forget the people
Saturn
which
is the
helped
most
you.
moral and
The
spiritual.
morals,
Saturn.
yes. The morals, exactly. Because Saturn is about that. I just said it to illustrate that there are really the two extremes with Saturn. Countries like India are ruled by Saturn, and you see the extremes. Very poor, very wealthy. This is Saturn. That's why how this will,
is as well Saturn ruled.
yes. So how this will influence people, it depends very, very much on their personal horoscopes. Very, very much. But if you keep your, good qualities and remain moral or become moral, certainly Saturn can be good. So this was important note I wanted to say. So yes, Saturn in Pisces, 12th house of the zodiac. Of course, this can have this. You see, if we go back, Mars appeared also for the first time in Pisces, and this didn't bring any peace. You see, this didn't bring peace, and we discussed this with you in May last year. Now Saturn becomes in Pisces. Pisces is water. Pisces is the flood. Pisces is the Pisces is health. So this can be a little bit, because Venus was in the beginning there, it will be in the beginning there. This will not have the extremity of disease, pandemics, no, but some health issues may arise, I believe. Also some natural disasters, but not very extreme. Again, I hope that the presence of Venus has major impact. So this time we will not see change in structures. No, it will be more for the collective, for the awakening. We will be seeing truth. Information will be reviewed. For health, there will be a lot breakthrough in health, like healing methods, which may be things that will come out from the ancient times, because Saturn rules the old. He's the old man.
Ancient technologies.
Ancient, yes,
More.
more.
Pisces is mysteries that are being revealed. They've just discovered 2-3 days ago, was announced that under the pyramid they discovered 600 meters of 8 tunnels, not tunnels, but like columns that reach 600 meters down, ending up with huge underground like rooms. And everyone is writing about it online. So this is
I didn't see it.
Archaeological discovery, and everyone says now, if this exists, it means that humans didn't build it with carts and horses. It was something way more advanced, and they're saying there's some kind of an energy structure to generate energy, electricity, I don't know, whatever it was. And the other thing, that JFK files came out, so mysteries are starting to build up little by little and be revealed.
Very interesting. The low vibration will be depression, craziness, worries, melancholy, mental a lot again because of the Pisces rules the feet though, but Saturn with Neptune, the low vibrations of the energy of Neptune. Neptune is divine love, and when you manage to harmonize with the high vibration of Neptune, Neptune is great. Neptune is related to Christianity, to divine love. So it really depends on the people personally how.
But the bigger number of people on the earth with consciousness levels below on the scale of consciousness that go into warlike desire, fear, and I worry that there will be persecutions of Christians or faith-based
Oh yeah,
persecution.
Christianity.
The religion, and it started already in Syria. They're saying about that people.
They will not manage. They will do what we will hear about this, but they cannot destroy Christianity because Venus is there from the beginning. Remember the beginning of every cycle, showing how the whole cycle will develop. Venus exalted is meeting Saturn from the very beginning of his entrance. This is for me a big hope that they will not manage to do these games with diseases, with yes, but this can have also impact on the agriculture, a bit negative, but again a good event. Also in the beginning of his passage into Pisces, Mars is entering Cancer and they're forming trine. And Jupiter will be in Taurus to make sextile. So there is harmony with, yeah, it's not so bad actually, but it is important. Now is important during these 3 years of testing. Our empathy will be tested, our courage, because many people will be melancholic, will lose hope, will be very afraid. So we are not, absolutely not supposed to fall in these low vibrations of Saturn. And also another note to make, when he will enter Pisces, he will be invisible. He's not seen. He will become visible end of April, on 30th of April, and then we'll be more able to feel his true energy, but not in me.
Also people that are displaced, like refugees and immigrants.
Yes.
What do you
Yeah,
think
12th house.
they will do? Do you think they'll do like they're closing borders now and they're
I think Saturn will, exactly what you say. Yes, I think Saturn will create limits there. But there might be problems with their health crisis with them also. A rising poverty, unfortunately, is possible. And so, because when Saturn will be, especially after, also soon, in May, Jupiter is entering Gemini. Jupiter is dispositor of Saturn. Because he's ruling Pisces, and Jupiter will also not be very strong. And Jupiter and Saturn together are very important for the also for money. So the markets will be in crisis. Another thing,
why is that?
Saturn is ruling building. Yes, building work.
Building what?
Building, property, all this, like this balloon with the property prices, with the
first.
yeah, yes, yeah, because now he's weak, he cannot support this, he will not support this anymore. This balloon will be absolutely over. Building work, like now, if you see the building business, it's really thriving. This will be not the case anymore. So there will be big change. There will be this will open the roads for other professions. And
you're saying that Saturn entered his two strong signs from 2020, and Saturn is real estate, so that's why the prices went so.
Yeah,
okay.
You saw what happened. Yes, indeed. So saying this, we can continue with the 12.
We forgot to say, Krasi is doing a wonderful course on just one day for busy moms, busy, students. It's 5-6 hours, and it's easy combinations for career based on sidereal astrology, based on Vedic astrology, and based on stars. Just like we made the video, watch it, for example, if you have your sun or moon or Venus on the star speaker, you might be an incredible speaker. and writer. Those people can be really good at that. Or if you have your ascendant or midheaven on Vega, which is a star of music, you can be really great with music. So Krasi will go through this, such very easy combinations of planet in house. It's not going to be complex. You don't need to know astrology much. Just very
Better to be a little bit interesting.
Yeah, you need to know like sixth house, second house.
Yes.
Okay. Mars in the sixth house, military, you know.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, it's only $60 and simple. I love simple astrology. Krasi is Aries like me in tropical zodiac, so and sidereal. So we like simple, short, easy, not too complicated.
No
And you
no
can join
need.
us. I'll put the link below if you're interested to join that course. That one day webinar.
Yes,
On the
yes, we'll be looking
25th,
at.
or watch the recording because it's Tuesday for some people, you know, and own it for life. Okay, so you can start in the 12 signs.
Yes, thank you, Wada. Yes. So we're starting with the 12 ascendants as usual. We look from both perspectives, sidereal and tropical. So we're starting with people who have sidereal, ascendant Aries, or moon in Aries, or if you're following modern tropical astrology, this would be Taurus. For you, Saturn is entering your 12th house. This is important for your, for your consciousness, spiritual awakening. 12th house is the house of the difficult karma. Could be that you will have to deal with activation of enemies, let's say. But when you're careful, when you know about this, you will be more careful, of course. You may need to be a little bit more responsible for your health. You may need to maintain healthy lifestyle already now, and you will be well. But from the very good perspective, this can be positive for your spiritual work, for enhancing, for receiving spiritual information. This can be also the time when you say, I want to help others, I want to visit the temples. So it can also have very good manifestation, the presence of Saturn in your 12th house. Could be that indeed you may need to be a little bit more responsible for your health and be careful with people. But Saturn also being in the 12th is helping people to win over enemies. Yes, he can create or awaken some old enemies, but he will help you also to win over enemies. Now we're looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Taurus or moon in Taurus, or if you're following modern tropical astrology, this is Gemini. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I continue, just to emphasize one more time on the following. Saturn can really be very different in people's horoscopes. He can really depend on how he's placed in your horoscope, how you harmonize with his either low vibrational energies or high vibrational energies, and you can learn actually to be friends with Saturn when you maintain the qualities like high morals, discipline, and so. I just say this because what we do now is a general reading, but more detailed reading can be seen indeed in your horoscopes. So now we're looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Taurus or moon in Taurus. If you're following modern tropical astrology, this will be Gemini. For you, Saturn is entering your 11th house, house of the good spirit, related to your gains, social circle, friends, of course, and also children. So you may experience changes there. Could be that you need to be a little bit more careful when you make financial decisions at work. Also a little bit more attentive with children. Also a little bit more careful with your friends, your social circle, your social appearances. There you may need to be a little bit more cautious, more diplomatic, more disciplined. Now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Gemini or moon in Gemini. If you're following modern tropical astrology, this will be a Cancer. And what I'm saying, of course, is valid for the month of April, indeed. So for you, the beginning of the month, Saturn is entering your 10th house. This is the house of your career, of your occupation, highest goals. So there you may start experiencing changes, especially, after more after end of April, but already in April, because especially after the first appearance of the moon with 1st of Nisan on 30th of March, all planets are conjoining in your 10th house. So this is promising eventually interesting changes in your career, modifications. So you may need to be a little bit more diplomatic and careful there in order to see where things are heading. So this is very important. Also, you may need to be a little bit more careful, loving with your parents. So also in your romantic life, because there will be a square towards your 7th house. So you may need to be also a bit more diplomatic, careful, patient with your partners. But in general, the main changes that you may be experiencing in the future, especially even after April, will be taking place in your 10th house, which is the career place. And now we're looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Cancer or moon in Cancer, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Leo. For you, the entrance of Saturn on 6th of April is in your 9th house. Of course, this may change the course of your studies, your media work, your travel, your communication, negotiations. You may experience big shifts there in the beginning of April, but even more after April, in June, July. In July in particular, you'll be very clear on what is going on. You may see that you will be new opportunities. Like one door will close, other will open, especially related to media, to travel, to your studies. Could be that in the beginning you experience some delay in studies, but this might be temporary. In general, be a little bit more careful, especially after April. Prepare well your travels. Make sure that you travel on well-chosen dates. Also, when you negotiate. Now we have people who have sidereal ascendant Leo or moon in Leo. If you're following modern tropical astrology, this will be Virgo. For you, the important conjunction of planets is taking place on your 8th house. Saturn is entering in April, your 8th house. So these are the finances of your partner, finances via partnerships. This may cause you a little bit of worries, fears, can disturb a little bit your sleep. Make sure that you're very connected with God, that you're very, that you connect with nature, that you are very balanced. There is nothing to fear from. But when Saturn enters the 8th house, this is house of fears too. So people in the beginning especially may become a bit worried. And when it comes to finances, temporarily you may have a little bit delay, especially finances of your partner or finances via unexpected sources. But I'm sure that this will be temporary. Now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Virgo or moon in Virgo. If you're following modern tropical astrology, this will be Libra. Now for you, Saturn will be right already in the beginning of April, right in your 7th house. Make sure that you are forgiving, careful, diplomatic in your romantic life, in other partnerships. You may not see this immediately in April, but because Saturn is invisible, but after April, you may also need to be a little bit careful, especially when it comes to romantic life. You may have a little bit temporarily delay in business entrepreneurship, but this will be temporary. Later on, I'm sure that you may even see new opportunities, especially after the summer. But in general, the most important thing is to be diplomatic, forgiving, careful with your partner and with partners. Now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Libra or moon in Libra. If you're following modern tropical astrology, this would be Scorpio. For you, the interesting conjunctions of planets in April with Saturn entering Pisces is with Venus, which rules your ascendant, is taking place in your 6th house, house of your routine, house of health. So you may need, especially in the beginning, to be more responsible for your health. Take good care of yourself. Make sure that you're not easily getting into conflicting situations or disputes. Also, with the sixth house, could be that Saturn will be changing a lot your routine. Could be that you will be more interested later, and more information to you will be reviewed, especially related to health. Could be that also you will be more interested in natural health, not the allopathic medicine, but more like different herbalistic, homeopathy, these types of things. But be responsible for your health, maintain healthy lifestyle. And now we look at people who have Sidereal ascendant Scorpio or moon in Scorpio. If you're following modern tropical astrology, this will be Sagittarius. For you, Saturn and the great conjunction of April is taking place in your fifth house, house of the good fortune. Saturn is entering this house too. This means that temporarily you may not be having muse to create, for creative work, for art. Could be, but you may feel that you're very interested in antiquity, antique history, antique arts. Saturn also may mean that you may be a little bit more attentive with children, careful with children. Also, like I say, temporarily you may not have the muse to create, but you may have the muse to research, to study ancient studies and so he may also change a little bit the way you make money. He may have direct impact on your finances, which you feel more like after April. He will be creating this environment in April, environment for change, for temporary delay, but later on after April you'll be very clear what the new changes for your finances, for the way you make money, also for your interests, creative interests, artistic interests will be. You may feel that you're not very much open to experience joy, pleasure. So temporarily, Saturn may create this delays and blockages, but later on this will be over. Now we're looking at people who have Sidereal ascendant Sagittarius or moon in Sagittarius, or if you're following modern tropical astrology, this will be Capricorn. Now for you, Saturn and the interesting conjunction of April is taking place in your fourth house. This may have impact on relocation, matters related to property, real estate. There he may be bringing the changes. Temporarily you may feel delay, like what will be happening with my property? Am I going to move? Am I going to relocate? You may feel that you're a little bit delayed in all these matters, but later on, especially after 30th of April, we'll have clarity on what is going on. In the meantime, be a little bit more loving, caring with parents. And Saturn in the fourth house actually can bring stability in your home. So this is not necessarily a bad thing. So you may find comfort at home. Saturn with Venus actually is not great for the finances, but at least he can give you comfort, and he can also later on show you new opportunities, especially related to property, to your home situation and so. And now we're looking at people who have Sidereal ascendant Capricorn or moon in Capricorn, or if you're following modern tropical astrology, this will be Aquarius. For you, Saturn is ruling you, so you feel this as a big step, big change, your ascendant ruler to be entering your third house. You may feel a little bit of blockage and delay related to study, relationships with your brothers and sisters. So there you may need to be more patient, forgiving, careful. With studies, you may need to be a little bit more, more maybe patient, and just don't give up on certain study. Just maybe you may need to wait until he becomes visible on the 30th of April, and you will have a little bit more clarity on what you want to study, what are your areas of interest, in case that you experience delay in your studying classes. And so you may also become interested in totally different studies, which may have more spiritual direction. Also, especially April may not be very, very appropriate for matters like new media work or negotiations or even travel. Because his first entrance into Pisces will be, how to say it, will be still still a little bit new energy for you. That this is why after 30th of April, I believe he will be a little bit more clear with his energy. What is Saturn meaning for you in your third house? But he will very much be related to studies, to spiritual work, to negotiations, to travel. There you will be experiencing the changes that he will be bringing you. Now we look at people who have Sidereal Ascendant Aquarius or Moon in Aquarius. If you're following modern tropical astrology, this will be Pisces. Saturn rules your ascendant. He is in your second house. I'm not sure, but maybe this is a relief for you that he will leave your ascendant, because could be that it felt a bit heavy. Maybe he's been testing your relationship, your choices, your everything, because on your ascendant he was very, very influential. Now he may cause eventually changes in your finances, a little bit of delay. Could be that you feel that you need to change the focus of your work, occupation, how you make money. You will be especially clear after 30th of April on what to do. In the meantime, he can also bring you back to your roots, to family members. There he may say you may need to revisit your relationships and fix them. But financially, he will be quite important for you. And finally, people who have Sidereal Sun in Pisces or Moon in Pisces, or if you're following modern tropical astrology, this will be Aries. For you, Saturn will be right on your ascendant for 3 years, very big deal. But don't forget at the beginning of the cycle is Saturn with Venus. And this is important, but he will bring you great changes in your areas of work, plans, desires, even relationships. So you may need to be fearless, brave, courageous, very disciplined. And I'm sure that then things will develop very well for you. But he will be having very important impact on you for sure. So, Wada, yeah.
Thank you so much, Krasi.
Very welcome.
And short, to the point. And if anyone wants to connect with Krasi, I'm putting a link below in the description to have a personal reading with her, or to attend this class or get it and watch it after that, which will be on the 25th of March, on specific and easy combinations for career and talents. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you very much, Krasi.
Thank you, Wada. Thank you, everyone.